Archaeologists are about to find something very important as they dig through the ruins of the Templo Mayor. The main place of worship for the people of Mexico during the Aztec Empire was this 100-year-old building, so it's not surprising that they're about to find something remarkable. But this could be such an important find that it could change the way we think about this society. In this video, we will talk about an amazing discovery that is a gateway to a lost world. But before we start, make sure to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for regular updates. Let's get started. Archaeologists looked into the Aru and Aztec buildings and found a doorway to a world that no longer exists. From the middle of the 14th century to the middle of the 16th century, the empire grew and held most of the northern United States. Historians think of the Aztec kingdom as Mesoamerica's last major civilization. It was a society that grew through farming, trading, and military activity. When Aztec soldiers fought and beat those of nearby states, the people of those states joined the Aztec Empire. The people lived there at the start of the 12th century. In the area we now call Mexico, there were once a lot of city-states. These realms fought each other for power and land, and by the beginning of the 15th century, several small empires had formed. In 1428, Texcoco and Spain, two of the most powerful nations, fought each other. Several other places helped Texcoco win the war. One of these towns was Tenochtitlan, which became the capital of the Mexican people after the war. The people were then split into different classes. The Teetering, who were in charge of the Tenochtitlan, were at the top. The Papilton, the Misualtan, the Mayak, and the Lakotan lived below them. The nobles, the regular people, the peasants, and the slaves made up these groups. Most of the time, the Aztec class system was very strict, but some people from the lower classes were thought to be able to move up. Traders brought all kinds of things through Tenochtitlan, like valuable stones, metals, tools, and weapons. People also liked beans, grains, and breads. People also bought and sold bugs to get food. The city had a good way to handle water, and rivers went through Tenochtitlan. On top of all this, the city had buildings to stop flooding and man-made water basins. The city was amazing in more practical ways, like trading and managing water, but it was also a place where art and building were very important. The city's main place of worship, the Templo Mayor, was one of the most interesting buildings in Tenochtitlan. In the Aztec kingdom, religion was very important. Tenochtitlan was built because it was important to religion. Aztec folklore says that people from a made-up land called Aztlan moved to the area around Tenochtitlan. People say that the god Huitzilopochtli helped these people find their way to the area. Huitzilopochtli was the most important god in Aztec society. He was closely connected to the sun and war. On the other hand, Tlaloc was the Aztec Empire and had about 11 million people living there. Since it was so big, it wasn't surprising that there were often revolts and fights. Most of the time, these problems were easy to solve, but that started to change in the early 1600s. In 1515, their neighbors to the east, who didn't have Scala and woke up at dawn, beat the Aztecs in a fight. Then, when the Spanish came to Aztec land, things got even worse. On August 13, 1521, the Spanish won the Battle of Tenochtitlan. This was the day that the area was taken over by European colonists and the original people who helped them. This was the start of Spain's rule over the land in the middle of Mexico. Before the Spaniards came to Aztec land, Tenochtitlan had already become Mexico City. The Templo Mayor was about 150 feet tall, but the Spaniards quickly started to tear it down and use its stones to build their own place of prayer. This is the still-standing Metropolitan Cathedral of the Assumption of Mary, at Huitzilopochtli. In the middle of the Templo Mayor complex, bones of arms, legs, and even heads from people who had been cut up were found. During this time, people found stones, which led to a formal plan called the Templo Mayor Project. Recent digs at the Templo Mayor have also turned up interesting things. At the start of December 2015, There were rumors that someone had found a tunnel that led to a round platform with 2 closed doors. At the time of the Aztecs' fall, Spanish settlers said that the local people burned the bodies of their dead masters. Archaeologists who recently found the tunnel and its Calcicalco hope that they will finally find where Aztec kings were buried. Leonardo Lopez Leon is in charge of these archaeological projects. In 2015, he said about the tunnel, "Once we freed the passageway from earth and stone, we knew it led directly into the heart of the Calcicalco at the equator." In Aztec society, this wasn't all that strange. Lopez Leon talked in more depth about what the platform he and his team found might mean. An archaeologist says it's possible that Moctezuma and his sons Sake and Atlantisac were buried in this part of the Templo Mayor. During the 1400s and 1500s, these 3 men were in charge. We still don't know what happened after the death of an Aztec king. Rosemary Joyce works at the University of California, Berkeley, as a professor. She said that experts haven't found where Aztec kings were buried yet. Archaeologists keep digging down in Tenochtitlan, hoping to find the big guy, but they are running out of places to look. Joyce did talk about how people have found things that show what happened after a master died. But parts of the newly found passageway show that Aztec rulers might be close by in Faye. There's a chance that the Aztecs didn't bury the ashes of their dead. Rosemary Joyce said that the unique position of kings might have made a difference. People might have put the king's ashes in the Templo Mayor because of this. Joyce said that the early leaders of the Aztec kingdom might have been especially honored. This is like how the first Americans, like George Washington, looked up to their leaders. Archaeologists are still figuring out what they want to find. In 2015, when the tunnel in Calcicalco was found, the lead casino geologist, Lopez Leon, told people to wait for answers. That's it for today. What do you think about this incredible discovery? Let us know in the comments section. Please like and share our videos. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for regular updates.